Welcome to the 111th episode of the Meeple Society, a podcast about board games hosted by two longtime role players turned avid board gamers. My name is Katy.
I'm Greg.
On this episode, we dig into the mechanic of worker placement and talk a bit about some of our favorites. We talk about Gen Con and the event catalog that just opened up. And we wrap it up with our first look at the White Castle. But first, Meeople Live.
Yes.
When this drops, we will have 3 weeks till Meeople Live.
Mm-hmm.
So it's coming up quick. Not a lot of changes to report. I just kind of wanted to bring it up to remind you that it's coming. And please watch, please support.
Join us online.
Join us online, yes, of course.
Donate for the kids. It's for sick kids.
Yeah.
They need your help.
One thing I did want to ask is if you have suggestions. We're procrastinating putting together a game list for this year. And usually by now we have a game list twice the size we could ever possibly fit into 24 hours.
Yep.
This year we have nothing.
Well, you have a lot in your head that you didn't write down or forgot most of it,
exactly. But everyone I bring up, you're like, eh. So, exactly. If you have some ideas of what you would like to see us play live, let us know. We'll see what we can do.
See if we have the game, or if we can get our hands on the game to play.
Right.
Because we have a bunch of friends that have games. So
we do. So surely somebody in the network will have one, have a copy of whatever it is, hopefully. Only stipulations is we try to stick under 2-hour games because, it's only a 24-hour thing and there's lots of people here and everybody wants their turn to play. Looks good on camera, plays at least 3 to 4 people. That's it. One more plug. Friday, June 5th through Saturday, June 6th. We go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, essentially New York time if you are out of the country. We'll see you there.
Okay. So why don't we jump down for a minute and hit the Gen Con thing.
Okay.
Last episode, we gave you the games and the times. Well, now I can actually give us the numbers, the ID
the event numbers
that I'll read them off, and I'm sure Katy can post them.
Sure.
Like right here.
You'll have to send me those.
Yes.
Send them to me.
So
I'm not going to write them down right now.
I'll just start at the beginning of these pictures.
Okay. Again, this is all through Fight in the Skies Society, being done in the stadium on Saturday morning / afternoon into evening.
I have the numbers here. I'll let Katy know. She's probably scrolling them right here.
Well, I'm posting them anyway. I don't know about scrolling, but yeah.
There's going to be something here. It'll give you the ID number. That way you know you've got the right game. Like I said, you've got me and Katy both. Our names are at the bottom, too. The Game Master is listed at the bottom so you can make sure. So
is it? Okay, that's cool.
GM's at the very bottom, right under the game ID, host Fight in the Sky Society, GM's, and there's your name. And it's like that in all of ours.
Oh, it's under my full name, though.
It's under Catherine Bowerly instead of Katy.
Yep.
But I said, you have 4 games?
I have 4 different games.
I have 3, which is 2 different games, 3 different gameplays, 2 of Hard Rock, 1 of Firefly. And then Justin has 3 games of Heat.
Heat, yeah.
We all have the same last name.
Yep.
But like I said, check out the ID number. That way you know you get the right game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And most of them are $4. Your all-play one is $2, and the Firefly one is $6.
Yeah, because Firefly is a 6-hour game, slotted for 6 hours, and I've only got listed for 2 hours because it's not a hard game to teach. So
yeah, and they're charging for the games. We don't see the money. It's
for
this group to be able to get badges for everybody and pay for all their fees they need to do to get into Gen Con, because it's not cheap to be do something at Gen Con.
It is not.
Okay. This week, we are back to doing our mechanics lists. This week is worker placement. You want to read what worker placement is?
Worker placement, and I have not read this, so I apologize if I stumble here. Worker placement, the official definition.
The official BGG definition.
A stylized form of action drafting. Players place tokens, typically the classic person-shaped meeple, to trigger an action from a set of actions. I feel like I'm saying the word action a
Board
lot.
Game Geek.
Okay. To trigger an action from a set of actions available to all players, generally one at a time or in turn order, Some games achieve the same effect in reverse. The turn begins with action spaces filled by markers, which are claimed by players for some cost. Each player usually has a limited number of tokens with which to participate in the process, although these may increase as the game progresses.
The game we played last night, which is one of them on the list.
It is. Did not increase.
Did not increase,
No,
which I felt like it needed to increase.
No, because there wouldn't have been enough spots on the board for
That's
it.
true. That's true. Well, they could have made that one where anybody could go there and pay a coin to do that. You know?
No, that would have been too easy.
First one we have on here is a classic, and that is Carcassonne.
Yes.
In Carcassonne, the worker placement mechanic using meeples involves placing a limited number of wooden followers onto newly placed landscape tiles and claim features like roads, cities, monasteries, and fields. These workers become thieves, knights, monks, or farmers, scoring points based on their features completion and return to the player only when scored.
Right.
And I don't ever think about them being monks. I always think they're priests going to the monasteries, but they're monks.
That makes more sense.
I don't think I've ever noticed that.
I don't think I've ever referred to
but
them
I
as...
knew about the thieves, the knights, and the farmers. But.
Yeah. Okay, so with Carcassonne, again, this is a classic. It's a tile placement, worker placement. And I guess I've always considered Carcassonne as a tile placement. I don't think I've ever considered a worker placement, but it is.
It is, because, it explains how.
Yeah. No, it's true. I hadn't thought about that before. But you're placing tiles out to continue or finish maybe even start some form of the landscape. Mm-hmm. And if you are able to, you can then place a meeple on it in order to claim it. Thieves on the roads, knights in the cities, monks in the monasteries, that type of thing, farmers in the fields. Mm-hmm. Farmers score at the very end of the game. So if you place one into a field, that's it. The one big rule is that you cannot place a meeple down if somebody else can lay claim to the piece of the whatever map feature you're on. So if you are adding on to a road somebody else has already built and they've already claimed that road, you can't claim it. But if you have claimed a part of a road and somebody else has claimed a different section of road, and by way of gameplay, those two pieces meet up and become one road, you each share in the points. Mm-hmm. So you can do that. So yeah, like I said, I never really thought of this as worker placement, but yeah, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
So
this came out in 2000. I thought maybe it was even earlier than that it came out, though. But that makes this thing 26 years old.
Yeah. We have the big box.
We've
had it for really long.
Of the big box,
yes.
Yeah.
And I have two versions. I want to say original version too, the Z-Man version, that I picked up at secondhand stores, and I'm kind of saving them to get enough because I want to do something on this back wall with some of the roads and stuff and make cities, and I just think it would look cool, but I've not yet delved into that.
So this is designed by the same designer that designed one of your favorite games, Downfall of Pompeii.
Was it really?
Yep.
Okay. See, that'd be another good one for the 24. I don't think we've done it yet either.
I think you've said that a couple times.
I probably have.
I
think it'd be fun.
But maybe we haven't.
I don't think so. I'll have to go back and look in my list
and
again.
Are you talking about Downfall of Pompeii, or are you talking about Carcassonne?
Downfall of Pompeii.
I figured. We're talking about Carcassonne. Downfall of Pompeii's had his due. I know. Next one is a game you can't
win
at all. And it's not only because you're playing against me. You've played against many other people and still lost. I played
the game twice without you and still lost it, yes.
This is Apiary.
Once by one stinking point.
Yeah, this is Apiary. And I do have written down what the worker placement is, but it's basically you have bees that are kind of square.
They're dice. They're technically dice, but with
only four sides and a head and a butt of a bee on it.
Yeah.
And it goes. It's a four-sided dice.
Four-sided dice. Yeah.
So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. And as you place it out, you can do the power of the action you're doing as you place out these bees are going to be dependent on whatever the number on the bee is. So between 1 and 4, 4 of course being a more powerful one because you get to do something extra if you're putting a 4. Because when you bring that bee back now, it's going to hibernate. So
it retires and he goes back to being a baby.
He goes back over to where you have to go and get more bees now.
Yes.
So you'd have to use an action to get it back.
Yeah. Every time you do an action with any bee, when you pull them back or get kicked off the action, because that happens too, you can age them. And then once they've aged up, then you get the powerful.
Now, when you bring them back, you can put them either out to back to the hive or have it set and ready to go for the next. And when you do that, you roll it then.
Either way, you roll them.
Right. And so you have them available to put out again on that same round.
Right.
But
there are some powerful actions to do when you do a callback, so there are reasons not to just immediately power them up and put them back into action.
Right.
Because when you call back,
you get to activate tiles
your
in
hive.
Yeah.
And depending on how strong your hive is, may depend on whether you want to do it that way. But a lot of the times, especially early in the game, if you get kicked off an action, your best bet is to just power them up by 1 and put them back into action so that you can keep going without taking a retrieve action. So yeah, I do love this one. This is a great one.
You just can't
I just can't seem to win it.
Okay. No. That's Apiary. The next one. You want to go ahead and talk about the next one?
I will talk about the next one because it is one of my favorites as well.
One of your favorite
games.
This
is Underwater Cities. Underwater Cities features a worker placement. Well, the worker placement in this one is actually cardboard tiles. It is not meeples.
Unless you get upgraded components from Etsy.
Well, that's true. You can get upgraded components, but fine. It comes with cardboard tiles, though.
Which work just fine.
Yes. You start off the game with 3. You end the game with 3. That's it. You never get more actions because there are only so many action spaces on the board. The board does scale from 2 to 4, actually 1 to 4, but at 1 and 2 players, you're using a smaller side of the board with fewer actions where some of the actions are combined. You can either do this or that. Whereas on the 3 to 4 player side, you've got more actions available. There's 5 of each color available, and they're more spread out. Instead of this or that, there are 2 different locations for that. There is also a tile that lets you copy an action somebody else has already taken, but only one person can use it each round. Which you wouldn't think to be a big deal until you really need something and the guy before you takes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were told just before we came on here that
there is a new expansion.
You had no idea. And I'm looking at a picture right now. It looks like they have blue city globes.
That looks interesting.
I was looking to see about some of the cards because I think this game could use where you have your tableau cards that you can put out, but have some cards that has action spots that you could possibly just go there. But you would just have to discard a card. You don't get the power for it. Kind of like the one down there where you discard a card, you can pull 2 cards and get 2 coins.
Yeah.
Or you pay a coin to go someplace else. Something like that, though. But they could be on cards.
But they're not action spots.
You could get more workers.
Okay.
Then have it where you could pick up more workers. Hey, it's just a thought.
This would be a very long game in that ass.
Vladimir Suchi, if you're listening, which I doubt, there's an idea. Cards that have actions so you can get more actions during the game.
But anyhow, we do have the new Discoveries expansion. We did not play with that one last night because we played with Doug and Mary, who had never played it before. But this new one is called Data Era. And thank you, Michael, for letting me know it existed. I did not know. So I will definitely have to be looking out for this one. Yeah, I'm excited to see this one and try it with blue domes. Ooh. Neat.
And another idea too. I mean, they could have the little space on the cards that you go to, but just have like divers that they're swimming over to here to check out this area because they can't get their submarine into it or something. It's a thought. I mean, that could be a fan-made expansion if anybody has enough knowledge to do something like that. There you go.
Okay.
Just a thought, off the top of my head.
Okay.
Don't you think that would be cool though?
It would. I would have to see how it works. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so the worker placement in this one is the tiles to choose action spots off of the board. And like I said, this is absolutely one of my favorite games. I did not win it last night. Apparently, I taught the game just a little too well.
Doug, who had a miserable first couple of rounds, just didn't think
he had a miserable first era.
Didn't think he was going to be able to do anything. Come back and beat us all by what, like 10 points,
something like that. I think he beat you by close to 10 points.
And I actually beat you in this game.
You did beat me in this game.
If it wasn't for Doug, I'd have a victory in this game now.
I had a rough my last two, well, my first era was great. My last two eras were not. The whole last era, I had nothing but, I think I had one card that wasn't green.
Mm-hmm.
And
you and Mary both were having it. But then the last era, I was getting all yellow cards.
Yes. And Doug was getting all red cards. So it's like we were.
So it's like
somehow we got off.
Well, she shuffled.
Yes, but you kept forgetting to draw. And if you did not keep forgetting to draw, the cards would have been different. So it's your fault.
You're going to blame it on me. I wasn't the only one that would forget to draw.
I drew all every time because they were right in front of me. But anyway, no, I love this game.
No, I liked the game last night. It was a lot better than I can remember. It's just the game before this, I brought it up to Mary. It was like 102 to 62
or something like that. Yeah.
Something like Yeah. You totally destroyed me in that one. Okay. Go to another game that you beat me at every game.
Targi.
Is Targi.
Yeah.
So Targi features a unique worker placement mechanic based on a 5x5 grid of cards. So there's a 5x5 grid in the middle, and you're placing your workers one at a time in turn order on the outside edge of it. So you have 3 workers, and you're going to get the action to wherever your workers are crossing at.
Right. The two
and
cards
that's what
that your
you get
action
to do.
Yeah.
So sometimes you may only get one. Sometimes you might get blocked completely and not get anything. But it's very strategic because you got to figure out, what do I need this round? What do I want? What do I
because you get the action of wherever you put your worker.
Yes, on the outside,
and then you get the card where they intersect.
Correct. And that's usually points or more resources that you're going to need to do other things.
Right.
So,
right.
Very cool game. I got you this and the expansion for a birthday or Mother's Day or something like that one year.
Yeah, I don't remember. I'd have to look back and look.
But we played this first at Gen Con one year, and you really liked it. I was okay with it, and I knew you really liked it, so I got you this. So
it's a good two-player game.
Yeah, and even though it's a game that I can't seem to win, I still bought it for you.
I'll go back to Apiary.
Everything goes back to Apiary.
Yes, it does. Whenever he complains that he can't win a game, I go back to Apiary. I used to be able to say that about Terraforming Mars, but then the last time we played Terraforming Mars, I beat you. And you did. That was the one that took three
and
work
Underwater
nights
Cities,
to play.
I beat you. Now we have to get the new expansion and play with both expansions and see how it plays.
Yes. There you go. You wanted to know what to get me for Mother's Day. Find that.
Well, there you go. I'll have to look for that. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next game that you really, really like.
I do, and I don't know why.
Which is crazy because this is another game that's so much like Smash Up.
Yes, and I do not like Smash Up, but I like this game. All right, so this is Dark Minions. This is a much older game. Yeah. This came out probably early 2000s.
This came out in 2011.
Okay. This was early in our collection because we found this at Half Price Books and it was brand new. But anyway, Dark Minions worker placement mechanic is combined with dice allocation to drive an evil mastermind theme. Players act as villains, sending hordes of minions to pillage towns and destroy towers. Never really thought about that being the theme, but okay. So
the box lid does not give you that feel.
Well, yeah, it does. That's true. The box lid is pretty gruesome.
The box lid shows hordes of beasts heading towards a castle.
It does. Okay. Anyway, so this one, you've got certain towns, I guess, out that you are trying to break, and everybody has a number of workers that you are committing to those towns in order to break them. And then whoever supplied the most of the workers gets the town and the points that are associated with it. That is essentially so. It's very similar to Smash Up. It's very similar to unearth.
And
It's
like
any
I
of the
said-
others that have that breaking
Yeah,
mechanic.
this one, it's been a while since we have played it.
Yeah, it has been.
The towns all had a breaking point in points, and
Yep.
there's some had skulls. Yeah, this one we have not. Like I said, we have not
We
played
haven't,
in a while.
and I think I like this one more. I don't like Smash Up because of the card combos.
yeah, but
This one doesn't have those card combos. You're simply assigning workers to various locations.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot simpler. It's a whole lot more simple. However you want to word it. It's just less complicated to me than Smash
Cards.
Up. And Smash Up, don't get me wrong, it's a light game. I get it. Everybody loves it. It's got a bajillion expansions. But this one just doesn't feel... I don't feel like I have to have the exact right hand of cards in order to be able to play them, and it never works out, and the combos never work for me, and I've always been frustrated when I play Smash Up.
Yeah.
This one I don't get that feeling from.
Yeah, and this one, we played 2 games in May of 2015, but we didn't score.
Well,
and
I
we
didn't keep
only
track
played
back
it 2-player, and I think at that time is when we realized
It's a 3-player
it's a
game.
3-player game. And then the first game in 2018 we played with Dirk, which is our dummy player, which we've named because of that is the dummy player originally from Alhambra.
And so now our dummy player's
Now
always
our dummy
dark.
player's always Dirk, and we have this little white meeple that I just roughly cut out of some 2x material, painted him white, and he has a little cowboy hat he wears now. And that's Dirk. Whenever we needed a dummy player, he's out on the table.
Yep.
But then the last time we played this was December 3rd, 2022.
Justin
And
must have been over.
the ones
for-
you scored, I've actually won both
yeah,
of them.
you have. So, again, just because I like the game doesn't mean I'm good at it.
That's exactly the way
We go
I
back
am.
to, Apiary.
Always back to Apiary. And apparently now you can add Dark Minions.
Yes, okay.
Because you really like Dark
I
Minions.
do like this
and
one. I don't know why
beat
I
you
like
both
this
times.
one, but I do.
And the final one we're going to talk about of the 5 games that we have on here is Atlantis Rising.
Yeah.
In Atlantis Rising, we have the 2nd edition. The worker placement mechanic is cooperative, simultaneous, and restricted by sinking island tiles. Players act as leaders, working together to place their Atlantean worker tokens on various spaces on the board to gather resources and build a portal to escape before the island disappears.
Yep.
This game,
We
it's
played.
not my favorite game,
No.
but I do enjoy
I-
playing
I
this
do
game
too.
because this is one of those games that it starts off, everybody's calmly going around the thing, but close to the end of the game, you look around, you notice almost everybody is standing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, geez, now what do we got to do? What do we got to do?
You got to make the right rolls or you fail. We
Yeah.
got to get these things. Yeah.
About
It's-
halfway through this game is suddenly when the cooperativeness really takes on. Because
Yes.
everyone's, I'm just going to go over here and get this, and I'll go over there and go do that.
Yeah.
And you do whatever you want. And then it's like, okay.
By the time you get about
We need this,
a
this, and
third of
this,
the island has
right?
sunk, it starts sinking in that, we don't have as much time as we thought we did. We've got to get these resources. We've
Yeah.
got to take it,
So so it's very strategic
Yeah.
as to where you need to place your workers,
Yeah.
and it takes as they say, it takes a town to raise a kid. It takes a group of people to save an island.
Yeah.
Which you're not going to. You're either going to
Well,
sink with it and die, or
right.
portal out of there.
Yes,
by
and
building
the
that
goal
portal.
isn't to save the island. There's no way to save it. It's Atlantis. It's sinking.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is to get off of the island safely.
Yeah.
And the way to do that is through a portal that the ancients have built. You just have to find the resources to reactivate it. And the resources are all right there on the island.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to find them. So, yeah, it's interesting. I enjoy this one.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And we have the expansion, the monstrous
We do.
expansion,
We
but I
do.
think when we played it, we weren't too thrilled with it.
I don't
It wasn't that
remember.
great.
I'd have to pull that one back
think-
out.
yeah,
I
we'll
know
have
it
to play
added
that
more
again.
people. It added more
Maybe
Atlanteans.
this is one we'll play on the 24th.
We have already.
Oh, we already have. Never mind.
Which we could do again. I have no problem with that. This one is a fun cooperative that gets everybody involved, and I do like those.
Yeah.
Those types of games. So this would be a good one to replay.
Okay.
So, all right.
So my question here is, what is your favorite worker placement game? Mine, of course, is Dinogenics, which I think is from last year's like my number 2 all-time game. But in our top 10 worker placement games it was my number one game. Yeah. And of course, because I really like this, I can't wait for the Kickstarter to finally arrive. But this is all about taking your workers and going to these action spaces to do the action, just like worker placements.
This is your classic worker placement where there's actions all over the board and you're taking turns to go to them.
Yep, but it's very strategic how you place them out because you're trying to go, okay, I want to do this this on this turn, so I've got to be able to work my workers around to make sure I get to that spot to be able to do that, because sometimes people beat you to the action that you want to use. And at least in this one, there's multiple spots on some of the actions.
Some of the actions
some
have
of them
multiple
it's just
locations.
One person can go to.
Yeah.
So what was yours? You said you had a few of them.
Well, I looked back at our top 10 worker placement because I do have several. As I've said, as we've gone through this, that's one of my favorites. My top on the worker placement top 10 was Apiary. But I think I said that because I hadn't won it yet. I was so
you're fixed on trying to win this game.
Right. I've been fixated on that one because I've been trying to win it. And I haven't done it yet. We even played it on the 24 and I still didn't win it. Jeff beat me by 1 point.
Yep.
I think. I'm pretty sure it was Jeff. But overall, especially after having played it last night, Underwater Cities is still one of my favorites. It's still, I absolutely love that game. I love the tactile feel of building out the cities and building out all the stuff. The decision space of, okay, which action do I take? I have this card I want to play, because the cards, you only get to play the card for its ability if you pair it with its color on the board.
Right.
So if I have a red card, I have to do a red action on the board, or I still have to discard the card, but I don't get the action off of it if I don't pair the color. So if I want to play this card and I need to play this card right now, which red action is going to benefit me the best? But I really want to do this green action over here. But if I do this green action, I don't have any green cards, which means I have to discard one of these cards that I want to use at some point. That is agonizing sometimes.
And I had a card in my tableau. If I went to an area and my card did not match, at least I got a steel plast for it.
Right. You and Doug both had that same card.
Yeah, he had a different resource.
He got to draw a card.
He got to draw a card. Okay.
So which helped you cycle through and would help if, in those situations where you got stuck with a handful of green cards.
Yeah. Well, the steel plast helped me because it could. I was able to put the.
Steel plast helps with
the
tunnels.
white buildings,
it helps
whichever
with,
what it was.
Oh,
because I had scoring for the amount of cities, but the laboratories put out science.
Right.
They gave you science, and I had the card that scored on science.
Gotcha.
The game ending.
So I've always just loved the agonizing decisions on this one. When you've only got 3 turns per round, which when you add it up, that's 30 turns per the game. That's a lot. But man, it doesn't feel like a lot when you're only getting 3 per round, and only like 9 per era before the next production phase.
Right.
So
I think after that, this play of I don't remember where Underwater Cities landed on my top 100, but once we get done with this playing through our collection and we do it, it may have raised it up a little bit.
I'm kind of looking forward to doing our next top
100. I know
100.
Terraforming Mars is raised up.
After winning
I had to put that asterisk beside it because only with all the expansions.
Yes, it is really. It's
Except
good no matter what. But
Venus Next. But
we bought
Venus
it
next. You got that for your birthday.
We bought it.
That was one of the many things you got for your birthday.
Yes. We just haven't played with it yet.
No, we'll have to get it all back out again and play with everything now.
Yeah. Anyway.
After Firefly.
Whatever. Okay.
Okay, so that's our favorite ones. Let us know in the comments what your favorite worker placement game is. Yeah. So we had a comment from the last show.
Yes.
On YouTube.
We did. So last episode, we talked a bit about Uno and how...
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Joy we'd gotten a comment previously, said Joy had like 200 and some odd games of Uno.
We've played a few of them now.
We have played several of them. And her comment to that segment was that about the number of Uno games, there are over 553 versions right now, and more come out all the time. Many are just decks with different IP art. Some are localized to specific countries and only available there. And then she goes on to talk about the fact that she and her husband have been playing Uno together for a while.
And that's
it
great.
is their favorite thing.
Yeah, it's one game she gets to play that he'll actually play with her.
So that's great.
And that's great.
Yeah.
If you found something you guys
but
can do together, that's great.
553.
We just have this whole we'll play any game now
Yeah.
together. So
Well,
it's not which I found now is not common in the board game hobby that it's
both
either
spouses.
one spouse or the other spouse that does it and the other one doesn't. But we're lucky that both of us are into.
Yeah.
We're pretty much if one's into it, the other one gets into it,
Yeah.
and we love doing
Yep.
it. So.
Yeah, you dragged me into role playing, and that just kind of started it all off.
Yep. Now
That
board
was
games. You dragged
30
me
years
into
ago,
volunteering
30
with show choir, and
Yeah.
that we did that for 14 years. So
We
we do
did.
things together.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, that was the only comment I had that I wanted to bring up because it directly
That's a
related.
lot of Uno, but hey, my question is, have you played them all now?
Well, she said she's got 293, so I don't know.
Have you
played them all?
Have you played them all? Have you played them all? We're getting close to playing over our
Entire collection.
How many games did we start off with to play?
We started off with almost 1,700 games to play.
We've added quite a few.
We've
of those
added a
too.
lot to the list.
So we're probably close to like
When we get to the very
1900?
the end of the Z's, I will have all of the stats. How many we started with, how many we ended up playing, how many we added in throughout the time frame, how many we got rid of, and we've actually gotten rid of a lot
how
more.
many decades it took us to do this.
It might if we don't get busy on these U's.
We've kind of had some things come up.
Anyway.
We'll play some more U's tonight. We got
Okay.
2 more Unos to play.
Yep, we got 2 more Unos to play.
We've played Uno Flip, which
Uno Flip. I thought it was interesting. It was just very fiddly.
yeah. What was the other?
We played Uno Flip, Uno Bumo.
Uno Boomo was kind of. Is this really a Uno game?
That was weird. Yes, I
Yes.
agree there. It was not like a normal Uno game
No,
whatsoever.
nothing like it.
Uno Flash, which I
Uno
loved.
Flash was a lot of fun.
I
yes.
really
We had a
enjoyed
blast
Uno
with
Flash. Of course, base Uno.
Yeah.
Uno Wild Tiles.
Have we played that one?
Yeah, we played that with Doug and Mary
It was
last month.
It was so memorable.
Yeah, Uno Wild Tiles.
I don't mean
And
to make fun of Uno though, but I'm not really. It's just
I don't remember.
I played
thought
a
there was
lot of
one
Uno
more.
when I was a kid,
I thought there was one more, and right now I can't think of it.
and that was
So-
back when it was only Uno
Yep,
It
just a
was-
deck of cards.
and basically Crazy 8, and we thought it was really cool because now we don't have to steal Dad's cards out from his desk and secretly play it, or go and try and find. Now we had Uno, an actual game.
Yep.
Anyway, so
Anyway,
that is our questions on worker placement.
yep.
Let's continue on to our first look this week.
Okay, so our basic overview of The White Castle. So The White Castle was published by DeVere in 2023, plays 1 to 4 players in roughly 80 minutes, ages 12 and up, designed by Isra C. and Shay S. Okay.
Yeah, that's easy.
Right? Art by this one, not so much. Joan Gardiet?
Guardian?
Guardiat.
Yeah, Guardiat.
There you go. I'll go with that. And then Matcha. Matcha's basically the exact same information, same designer, same artist, 1 to 4 players, 12 and up, but it does extend the time to 90 to 110 minutes, which is about accurate. It took us about an hour and a half to play this when we played it, almost 2 full hours to play it when we
But
played
it
it with
doesn't
Matcha.
feel like it.
No.
And we'll get into that when we get to put
Yeah. No, it did not feel that like it took that long. Now, that being said, we also played it 2-player. We did not play it 4, which might extend the time.
And we'll talk about it when we get to gameplay.
Okay.
Once you tell us how to play it.
Okay, how to play. This game is essentially a worker placement, but in the form of dice. So it is a dice placement. The board is set up with a number of worker spots across the board. 3 different locations, four different locations in the base game. 3 different colored dice. You take dice based on the player count, so 1 more than the number of players, of 3 different colors in the base game, and roll them all, put them onto the little bridges on the side of the board in numeric order. So the lowest number on the left the highest number on the right, and everybody else in the middle of the bridge. On your turn, the first thing you're doing is taking a dice off of one of the bridges. Now, this does have an engine mechanism as well. If you take the one off the lowest side of the bridge off the left, then you get to run your engine. And that engine is basically going to give you various resources. It might let you go up on the influence track. It might give you a victory point. But for the most part, you're going to get resources. Maybe coins. Okay, so after you've claimed your die and you've run your engine if you took the lowest number, then you get to actually place your die out. Actually, all of the dice placement spots have numbers on them, ranging anywhere from 1 to 6, actually. 1 to 5 on the board, 6 on your player board, because you can always put them on your player board as well. If you place out a die of the exact number that spot calls for, then that's it. You just do the action. You don't have to pay anything. You don't get anything for it. But if you put out a low numbered die, so if I put out a 2 on a spot that says this needs to be a 4, then I have to pay 2 coins to be able to put my die there. But if I put a 6 on that spot, now I'm getting 2 coins. But again, grabbing those 6s off of the bridge aren't going to get me the ability to run my engine. So it's a little bit of a balance there. Mm-hmm. All right, so you're putting out your workers. There are a number of locations you can put your workers. On your player board, you have 3 different types of workers, or 3 different types of meeples that can be placed out onto the board. These are only placed out when you do that particular action, which you do by placing the die into those slots, into a slot that allows it. Now, at the start of the game, there are cards put out in the castle itself, and those cards will depict various actions. There's 3 layers in the White Castle, and the White Castle is ultimately where you're going to put your courtiers. Also, at the beginning of the game, there are little dice icons put out, and that tells you which colored dice will activate which actions on the card that's on that spot. After you've gotten money or paid money, whatever for the placement, now you're doing the action for that color. So if I put out an orange die and there's an orange marker in that location, then I get to do the action that marker is pointing to. Some of these card actions will be to gain resources. Some of them will be to move up on the influence track, which are points at the end of the game. This also determines first player for the next round. Some of them will be to do one of the other actions. I could be able to go do the gardener action, which affects the bridges. It could be to go do it's a warrior action.
It's the training camp.
Training grounds. There you go. It's the training grounds. It could let me go do that training ground action. So it's a little bit of a combo. By doing this one die, I can get into the training grounds. Now, there are 3 locations where you can place out some of those meeples on your board. You've got your courtiers that go into the castle itself. You've got your samurais or your warriors that go into the training grounds, and then you have your gardeners that go into the gardens at the bridges. Okay, so in the castle itself, when you do that action, you are placing a courtier at the gates. That costs 2 coins to do. Mm-hmm. And then you have the option of moving them up various steps in the castle. Now, as I said, there were 3 layers in the castle. You can move them 1 layer by paying 2 mother of pearl. You can move them 2 layers by paying 5 mother of pearl, which are resources in the game. You pay those resources, you move them up to whichever level you want to. On the first level, there's 3 different options. On the second level, there's 2. On the top level, there's 1. But you're going to get the most points if you can get up there. But you also get yourself some resources by doing so. It depends on the card.
Points, resources, actions.
Right. And it's all variable because it changes out from game to game. When you place your courtier, you go to the first or second level from the gate. That's the furthest you can get from the gate. You take the card that's there. That card now goes onto your player board and becomes part of your engine. And then a new card comes out to replace it. So now the actions have totally changed up for that location. Now that black die, which may have given me 2 mother of pearl earlier, is now giving me 2 iron because the card changed. So that's the castle. The gardener action, there are 3 bridges over on the side of the board, and underneath each bridge are 2 cards, one of which says how much food I need in order to go to that location. The other half of the card gives an action. It may tell me I get to use one of the white abilities from the castle. It may tell me pay 3 coins and take another gardener action. So there's a total of 6 cards out here, so you can get all 6 of your gardeners out there if you can manage it. You take the action as soon as you place the gardener down, but then at the end of the round, if there are any dice left on that bridge anywhere, you get to take that action again. So it's a little bit of I don't want to see press your luck, but it gives you a reason to avoid taking the last die off of something if you know you're going to get an action out of it. But your opponents may as well. Okay, and the last area is, well, there's actually 2 areas left. There's the training grounds. The training grounds is where you put your warriors. The training grounds have some tokens put on them at the beginning of the game that say, when you put a warrior in this location, I get to do this ability. One of the actions may be to take 2 of the daimyo seals. I think that's how it's pronounced, but 2 of the orange seals. And those orange seals act as a cost for other things throughout the game. Mm-hmm. They also allow you to move further up the influence track when you get to a blockade. It may let you do one of the actions. It may say, okay, by putting your warrior here, you can now do a gardener action additionally, provided you have the resources to pay for it. So there's all sorts of things. And again, there's probably a dozen tiles, and you're only using 4 per game. And they're double-sided to boot, so you get a little bit of variability there. So there's 3 different levels of the training grounds. How far you can move up in the training grounds depends on how much iron you pay to do so. Iron is the resource that lets you go into it. And it also depends on how it scores at the end of the game. Each warrior in levels 1 and 2 score you 1 point per courtier in the castle. Mm-hmm. The 3rd level scores you 2 points per courtier in the castle. So it kind of a little bit of multiplication there. The last area on the main board is the well. And when you go down to the well, it's as simple as putting any dice there. Any number of people can go there. Now, mind you, in all these other spots, in a 2-player game, only 1 person can go to each spot. In a 3-player game, I think it's the same way, but in a 4-player game, 2 people can go to each spot. Down here at the well, any number of people can go there. You can go there multiple times if you want to, if you want the resources. Now, there's a couple of tokens put out there at the beginning of the game that denote which resources you're going to get. So you always get one of the seals. You always get at least a couple other resources to boot. Depends on what tokens were put there. But the dice it calls for is a 1. So you're most likely going to end up getting some coins as well. This is probably the best way to get coins throughout the game, is to go to the well. Now, the expansion added in the geishas. It basically added a whole new board at the bottom that gave you the geishas. And you had a trail that led you up to the tea houses, and along the trail let you do various things. The first step lets you take a yellow action off of a couple of cards that are on the other side of the tea houses. And then you get to take the card, and it becomes part of your engine. The second action lets you do one of the blue actions, but the card stayed put. You could move backwards on the trail to the tea houses and now go down to the pond. And that guy just stays there and gives you extra bonuses, kind of like the bridges, because this is a new bridge.
Yes.
This is a new bridge, new dice. You've got another color of dice out. So now you get an extra action every turn because you've also got 6 more meeples that you can put out. So down here, same as the castle, you pay $2 to put out, or 2 coins to put the geisha at the gate. Mm-hmm. You pay 2 chasen. Again, this is one of the newest resource. You pay 2 chasen in order to move your geisha 1 step toward the tea house, or backwards to the pond. Or you can pay 5 chasen to move them 2 steps toward the tea house. It requires a 3rd step to get into the scoring area. The tea house itself has 3 separate levels, and depending on which level you put your geishas into will depend on what scoring you're going to get at the end of the game. The top level scores for any gardeners you have next to the
in the garden, the bridges.
Thank you, in the bridges. I kept wanting to say bridges, but I couldn't get the word out. The middle level scores for the training grounds. So all of the warriors you have in your training grounds, you'll score on those. And the bottom will score for the castle, the courtiers in the castle, similar to how the training ground scores. Over to the side of the tea houses, you can also put dice down on the cards itself, and then you just simply do the actions at the top of the card or the actions at the bottom of the cards. The cards stay put, but they are some powerful actions. So the game runs in 3 rounds. Each round in the base game, you get 3 turns. And if you add on the matcha expansion, you get 4 turns per game, or per round,
Per round.
So depending on whether you're playing with the expansion, you only get between 9 and 12 turns for the entire game. So comboing is essential in this game. But yeah, that's the basic overview of how it plays. All right, let's break it down.
Bring down gameplay. We'll just do gameplay right off the bat.
I really enjoyed it. This was, there were some, every choice was good. Every dice had its benefits.
Yes.
Do I take that low numbered dice but have to pay a coin to go to this spot? Or do I go for that 6 and get some coins? But I don't get to run my engine. But I really need to run my engine because I need those resources to do this action. There were some tough decisions in this.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just me now, but I've noticed lately a lot of these games that we've been playing, like Unconscious Mind, and now this one, the AP is so bad.
And I'm not prone to AP.
No, I'm not usually prone.
Wow.
I usually have 2 or 3 actions set up. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this action. If this action gets taken, I'm going to do this action. If that one's taken, I got this action back up.
Well, there's a lot to think about in this.
Yeah, this one I have so much because this is all about placing your dice and making it combo to do other things.
The combos are.
I'm going to set this dice. I'm going to take this black 3. I'm going to take this black 4. It's on the low side because the other side's a 6. So I get to run my engine, or the well, or whatever it is they actually call it.
It's the engine on your board.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if it had a special name to it. I
will look.
Though.
You keep talking. I'll look.
I get to run that, so I'm going to get some things off of my board as depending on how many cards I have and the icons. I get to run that. I get all that stuff. Now I'm going to place it in the castle to do this action. And this action has 2 different black actions, so I get to do both of them. One of them is I get to go do another action. So you're constantly looking at this like, okay, if I go do that action, does this give me any other things? So like this is going to let me go to the gardener and do a gardener action. Oh, look, that gardener action, if I do that gardener action, it's going to allow me to do this action as well.
I can pay 3 coins and do this action. Yeah.
You could just keep comboing it. And that's what this whole game's about, is to place your dice and get the best combo for the dice. Because if you're just placing your dice just to get one thing, you're missing this game. And that's how I played the very first game. Like the first half of the game, I was like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be comboing in this game.
And it's hard to set them up sometimes.
This is somewhat of an engine building game. In both games I've lost. But I haven't figured out how to get that engine running. You seem to get an engine running pretty good.
I did, but this last
seem to quite get this engine, and it's driving me nuts because
I only won by 3 points. So I suspect the next one you're going to have me.
Oh yeah, engine building games is. Yeah. I love engine building games, and I usually do really well. Apiary. This game has so much to offer in this game. I do like, and the expansion, it gave you that extra action because this game feels like it just goes by like that, but it's an hour and a half later and you're finishing up and you're like, this only took 20 minutes, right? Yeah. Because it's like going, okay, I got 3. And it's only got 3 phases of the game.
Yeah, 3 phases,
each
3
phase
turns
you get 3 turns without the expansion. Now with the expansion, with my matcha expansion, you get 4, like you said, you get 4 actions.
Right.
And it doesn't really change.
No.
That you just have more places to go to now. So if this area gets blocked up, I can still get to that area if I go down here into the tea house area. I can move up towards the tea house and get this action because it's one of the black actions on that one that I could do. So I can still get and do that action. I said, it's all about the combos.
Yes. Yeah, it truly is. And that is called the Lantern Rewards.
The
to
Lantern
run your
Rewards.
engine is the Lantern Rewards.
Yes.
And then the influence track was called the Passage of Time track.
And I like how at the top, up in the castle, when you move your geishas up, you get that card. And
the
you
castle is your courtiers.
the courtier.
Courtiers.
Courtier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's courtier. Okay. Anyway, but you take that card and you put it behind all your soldiers or your meeples.
Yes.
And then when you put a 6 on your board in front of one of your meeples, the different types, you get the resources shown. And then whatever on that card at the end of the line, you get to do too.
Right.
So if you got like 3 different ones, so I have a card that's going to show 3 different rewards for each of the different things. It's like, okay, I really need that. So I'm going to get this red 6 and go down the red line, which I think was orange. Yeah, the orange, which was, I think, was the courtier. I think the top one was courtier, then it was the farmers, then it was the warriors. And then with the expansion, then it became the geishas.
Geishas.
And it gave you
yes. Yes.
It gave you a token at the beginning of the game that you got to do. I liked that. And then when you would get another card from like the castle, you would replace that, and now that card comes down, and now it becomes an icon in your lantern action.
Yep.
So that is your engine building. That just like, okay, well, every time I run my lantern now, I'm going to get a point on the scoring track. I'll get to move up the bird track thing,
the Passage of Time.
The Passage
the
of Time,
influence track.
and whoever's the farthest one up on that gets to go first.
Yeah.
This last game, I never got to go first.
Nope.
Because, boy, you start out on that and you just fly. Every time I start to catch you, next thing I know, you're forced by
because I had one in my. That was one of the things I started with in my lantern track. Mm-hmm. So every time I ran my engine, and for the first several turns, I made sure to take that low die. One of the reasons because you rolled really high on that first round, like they were all 3s and above. So it didn't cost me any money to place anything in the castle, but every time I ran that, I moved up that track.
Yeah, so in the castle, like I said, you replace cards of where your soldiers are at, and I keep forgetting that that's an action you can take, is putting the 6. You could put lower dice, but you end up having to pay coins to get it. But when you get a 6, I'm a lot of times, although there's other places out there that kind of need a 6 to get you
you some money.
Get you some money, though. But that 6 also gets you resources if you put it on your player board.
Yes.
And then that little extra action. And I keep forgetting to do that.
I always forget that, too.
Because I think the first game I was thinking, I have to go here to put one of those out. No, you got to go to that action to be able to get one of those out.
Yes.
You're not putting it out. You're only, as you put them out, you're going to get more resources as you go across. Like the orange one, you would get.
You get more food. There. The courtier, for whatever reason, the courtier gave you food. The
farmers gave you steel,
and then the warriors gave you mother of pearl. So they didn't give you what you needed for that person. Right. They gave you what you needed for somebody else.
And then the geishas actually gave you the chasm and other things.
Chasen,
yeah. And if you got farther on some of the other tracks with the newer boards, because with the new expansion gave you newer boards because they had to add the geishas on there.
Yeah.
It gave you Chasm or Chasm or whatever it's called. What's it called?
Chasen. So
Chasen?
I'm assuming Chasen.
Yeah. Correct us if I'm wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. So down there at the tea house, when you're doing that action, you get to take that card.
And again,
now
it goes
automatically goes straight to your lantern. So you're building
when
that
you do
track
the yellow action. It's only the yellow action.
Is it only the yellow action?
Yeah, it's only when you do the yellow action you get to take the card. The blue action you don't.
The iconography in this game is great.
It really is. Yeah,
and it gives you that pamphlet that shows you everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the back of the book shows you everything.
So in the tea house, you go to the second one in, or the first step in past the initial greeting tent, or whatever you want to call it for the geisha house or the tea house.
The gate. Yeah.
The gate, yeah. The first one is the yellow one, and it shows that whichever card you do, you're taking the card, and you're still doing the yellow power, but you get the card as well.
Correct.
And like I said, and that immediately turns over,
and it reveals a new card,
that icon, and you get a new card,
which means now the actions have changed on the cards. I very much enjoy this one.
Yeah, matcha blends in so well.
It really does.
Because the tea house scores for the different other areas
Yeah.
from the beginning game, so you're going to get extra scoring for
Yes,
those areas.
it doesn't just tack on more stuff. Don't get me wrong; it did tack on more stuff,
But it blends.
But it incorporated
it blends it
the
in real
original
well.
game into it,
Right.
Which is really nice, and I did like that. And it gave you all new player boards. It didn't just give you something to add on to your player board. It literally gave you all new player boards, which was nice.
So ease of play. It's
I think
pretty
it's very
easy
easy,
play
yeah.
because, like, once you, like I said,
Once
it
you
gives you a
get
thing.
it, you
It tells
get
you
it.
what the icons are
Yeah.
anyway, and once you get that understood
Yeah.
and understand that
The
it's
rule
all
book
about
was-
comboing.
Yeah, I didn't have
It's
any problem
great.
with the rule book at all.
It's very easy to get to the table, very easy to play.
Yes.
It doesn't have a really big footprint, but we've only played this at 2 players.
I feel like at a larger player count, it's going to take up at least our table.
Yeah.
It will take up the table. So it's not a small footprint, but it's not huge either. There's not a million boards
But
out.
I think it'd be easy to teach.
Yes.
And,
I think it would be
even
very
for
easy to
newer
teach.
players that aren't into Euros or anything,
Yeah.
it would be easier.
I think so.
You just got to let them understand what you mean by comboing
Yeah.
and kind of give them those little tips. Like this, you've got to know how to do all these combos. Artwork.
I like the artwork.
Yeah, the artwork and
it's very-
the
I mean,
game
it's-
itself blended together.
Yeah.
Because it looks like
Yes,
where the
they-
tea house goes, the gatehouse the trail to the gatehouse kind of flowed
Yes.
right out towards the gatehouse over to where the gate to the tea house is at.
Yeah.
And then the fields where you have the dice you place down to do different actions
Yeah.
on the board just flowed right
All the
through.
artwork flowed very nicely.
Everything just came
They
together.
carry-
It's
yeah.
like they had planned this.
Yeah.
And if you've ever seen the matcha board, if you look at the bottom, they have or they could add another expansion to this to add another action, another color dice, another color bridge, whatever. But the artwork is continual. It can match up to it.
Yes.
Game components.
I mean, it's all cardboard and wood. The
I don't know
meeples
if-
are all
I don't know if
wood.
there's a deluxe version of this. I mean,
don't
there are
know.
deluxe components you can buy for
Yes,
this in the
there are.
secondary market. But
But the card, even the bridges, you put the bridges together and they're designed to stay together. They're pretty sturdy for
yeah, they're
cardboard.
pretty
They
sure- I
really
mean,
are.
Yeah, they even have that extra support underneath
Yes, I
it for the
saw
dice.
that.
It's crazy because
So
it is like
they-
it's a very well engineered bridge.
Yes, they did. I think that they're very well put together. They're
They were
I've noticed-
the first one I did was a little bit of a pain in the butt to get it together
Yeah.
until I figured out because it tells you, oh, put these on there and these on there, and then this goes together like that. It's like, when you're putting in one side, the other side falls off. So I was like, okay, I'm
course.
building the one side and then I'm putting the other side on,
Okay.
and it went together. And the only complaint I had about this is when we punched it out, and I think it's the white bridge.
Yeah.
When I punched it out,
It started to rip.
It ripped a little bit. So
A little bit of Elmer's glue.
a little
and it was
Elmer's
fine.
glue and some pressure. It's just fine. You can't even tell it now.
Yeah.
So, and replayability.
I feel like the board is designed to be very modular.
Yes.
It's not a modular board per se,
No.
but the cards at the garden, they change out. There's a whole deck of cards, so they're never going to be the same. You're never going to have the same exact 3 options or 6
Correct.
options.
I could see getting more of them,
Yes.
which I was surprised that this expansion didn't
did.
come. Did it come?
I
with
think it
Oh,
added
yes,
more.
it did
It
because
did.
it had some of the stuff
Yes.
for that. It needed to, so it would
did.
blend it.
So the cards that go into the castle itself, again, all 6 different cards on there. Each one is changes out throughout the game,
And
not
Matcha
just
came
at the
with more
beginning
cards
of the
for
game.
that too.
Right, it changes out throughout the game. The tokens that indicate the dice color, again, those are all random.
Yes.
So and then you're putting a majority of them out in the castle, and then there's 2 left over, and those 2 flip over and go into the well and become the resources in the well.
Yes.
Again, they're always going to be different.
Yeah, the little tokens in the training grounds
Yes.
are 2-sided. One
Yes.
side's blue, one side yellow, so those could be mixed up.
Yep.
So you're never going to have that same combination
Exactly.
every game
So
for the actions
I
in there.
feel like all of what you get for your actions are all token based. and are going to change up from game to game.
Yes.
So I feel like the replayability is good. There's always going to be different combos available. There's always going to be different things to do. Your actions are going to get you different stuff. Never mind the dice roll, which is always variable anyway.
Yeah. And even the beginning stuff you get at the game is there's no way you're going to have the exact same setup every time.
Right.
It's going to be, because it's two cards.
2 cards and a tile. That go for if you're playing with the expansion, from the matcha expansion. Yes, that is what you get for the geishas.
Yeah, and then some of the cards will give you a starter icon for your lantern action.
Right.
Which is your engine, like we said, though.
Yeah.
So final thoughts.
I love it.
Yeah.
I've heard good things all along. Honestly, some of DeVere's other games have been like, I'd heard good things about them too, and you play them a half a dozen times and I'm done with them. I can see playing this one quite a while. I've heard really good things about it. I wish we'd bought it earlier.
Yeah. I agree. Like when this one first came out,
everybody was talking about,
I was like, is it the hype?
Yeah.
Are they just hyping this up? And it's one of those that, okay,
nope,
it's fine. No, this one owned up to its hype.
It did.
And like you said, I really wish we'd picked this up earlier, because I could have been playing it more than I have now. We've only gotten 2 gameplays of this, one with the base game, one with the expansion, and I really want to get this back out. I want to
teach this to some people.
I want to teach this to Justin and Jackie, because I think they would both like it.
I bet they would.
This is a game that I think will come off our shelf quite a bit.
I think so too.
Well, especially once we get done with playing through our collection, we got to get those games played.
Well,
first,
we haven't played the W's yet. We can pull it back off when we get to the W's.
We'll play it again for that. Play it twice. We have to play it for base game and for the expansion again.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest you guys, if you've never played this, play this game. Great game.
Yes.
Especially if you like dice placement games, which I like.
I do too.
And comboing games.
Yes.
So
engine builders. Yep.
So that's the White Castle and the White Castle Matcha expansion. Yeah. So this is going to do it for episode 111. If you like this episode or any of our content, haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so by going to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And while you're there, give us a rating and comments. This is how others find the show. You can also show your support to the show by becoming a Patreon member by just going to patreon.com/The Meeple Society. But in the meantime, if you want to follow us on social media just to keep up with us and see what we are doing, just follow the links in the show notes. There you'll find links to Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Discord, Blue Sky, and our merch shop. Or you can contact us directly at meeplesociety@mail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next one.